Hi, you are my first and only viewer at the moment, and you're gone. Hi, you're my. Oh, we have two. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday, Juniper Lane. There's three people. Wow, I think good. Things are happening. Please chat. Oh, Belgium. That's amazing. Welcome. Whiskey Lover Society. Jack the Pickled Hound. Good morning, my friend. We've exchanged a lot of banter on our on my videos. I love Jack the Pickled Hound. So cool, man. I think there's five of us over here. That's not bad. I was expecting less, but I'm happy with this. So this is it. This is where I shoot my videos. This is my little whiskey room. It's a bit messy. I can show you around. We got a light up here. You know, my guitar's in the back. Yeah, a lot of stuff lying around. That's my experiment table. I do a lot of experiments here. But you know, the whiskey kind. So go ahead, feel free. Ask me whatever you want to ask me. New York. Oh, nice and early in New York. It's Sunday, right? Sunday morning in New York. How's the weather? It must be super cold there. If you know, I'm actually. Hi, David. David from Germany. Thanks for joining this stream. I've opened up a bottle of the Laphroaig 10-year-old cask strength batch 13, and I'm using my nice Glencairn Copita, and the Glencairns. It's cold and sunny, and the Glencairns are all dried up. Well, it is 10 in the morning, Jack. What were you thinking? You can't have wet Glencairns at 10 in the morning. That's a downward spiral into alcoholism. Haha. So yeah, I have the batch 13 that I just recently poured on this lovely Laphroaig coaster that I got from the distillery. It's fantastic. Have been meaning to ask for a while, but is that actually your collection behind you? Yes, David, it is 100% my collection. This is my whiskey room. This is my home, actually. And these are all the whiskeys that I have collected over the years. There you see my art bags and my Laphroaigs all the way down. The Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, Highland Park, you can see there. Those are some Bruichladigs, Port Charlottes, Octomores. Then I have my Glenmorangies, my Old Pulteney's, some Macallans, Glenfiddichs. Behind me here, some Flora and Fauna. What do we have down there? I don't even know. Some bourbons, some Japanese, Campbelltown, Amrut whiskeys. So yeah, just you know, a mix of different types of whiskeys, different varieties from all over the world, and yeah, it's taken me a long time to put this through. And yes, 100% my collection. What is my best whiskey for 2021? Yeah, that's a tough call, you know, because unlike previous years, I've actually had some really good whiskeys this year. So I'm quite happy. I don't know the answer to your question at the moment, but I'm really liking the Aran quarter cask. That's a good whiskey to have. The only reason I may not nominate it because it doesn't have an age statement, even though we know exactly the maturation process. It's 7 years in first fill bourbon and then 2 years in quarter cask. So we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. You love the Amrut, had a couple. Oh, so I'm a huge fan of Amrut. It's one of my go-to whiskeys. I have a decent collection of Amruts here. Those are the single casks. That's the Greedy Angels. It's a it's a rare whiskey, and this is actually my pride and joy Amrut. This is one of the first Amruts ever released. This is released back in 2006, if you can see that. And this is absolutely stunning, stunning dram. Love it. Yeah. So those are my Amruts. Glad you like them. Aaron 10 gets a lot of love. Yeah. Aaron 10 does get a lot of love. I think Aaron 10 is a great whiskey. It's a great whiskey. Stands you up. So yeah. I love doing these videos, and one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is what sort of content are you looking at for this channel? I'm doing a lot of lists lately. Sorry, Toiletarian asks the number of bottles you have in your collection. I'll be honest, I haven't counted them in a very long time, so I don't know the exact number. I've some there's like two closets over there that you can't see. Well, you can if you want over there, which are also full of whiskey. So I think I have about maybe about 400 or 500 on these shelves here, roughly. Yeah, I'd say about 500. And then maybe another, I don't know, 200 or 300 in the cupboard inside. So I'd say roughly, but don't hold me to it, maybe about a 700-800 bottle collection, I think. It seems like a lot. I know people who have more than that. I've been to some bars here. Yeah. Nice to see you. Love your channel. Thank you, Toiletarian. How much did you buy that George T. Stag from, and where? I bought that George T. If you're talking about this one, I think this is the 2019 George T. Stag, and I bought it in the UK for about 200 pounds or slightly less. I got lucky. I picked up 3 bottles of this, and I've already drunk one, I think. So yeah, I got very, very lucky. Very lucky. From retail, yeah. Ifena Yukauma. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Yes, I got it from retail. I found it in a store, in a shop, in a whiskey shop in the UK, in London actually. They had it. I think I got lucky. The shipment had just arrived that day, and he only had 3 bottles, and I bought all 3. So yeah, you have to get lucky. You have to get lucky sometimes. Cool. We're at 11 people now. So what kind of content do you guys want to see on this channel? I'm really interested to know that. Really. I've seen crazy prices of almost $1,000. Yeah, Jack, you're right. I've seen more. Sorry. Looking at the chat here. What do your Toiletarian asks me, what do your family think of your hobby? They're very supportive, actually. My wife, especially supportive. She, in fact, helps me with my tasting notes and my nosing. Uh, she's given me this room as my sanctuary, so I come here and I do my thing. And she's quite happy to support me as long as I drink responsibly. And that's, I always say this in all my videos. Please drink responsibly, and that's the most important thing. So a dram a day is fine. A couple of drams every few days is also okay. Don't let it ruin your life. I've almost crossed that line, and I don't want to go there again. So it's a balance. There's so much temptation behind me, and I wish I could just go crazy, but I can't, and I don't want to. So, didn't you see the William Laphroaig? Yeah, right here, right here. This is the William Laphroaig. Quite love this bourbon. It's one of my favorites. Let's open the chat. Okay. Thank you, Jack. You like the lists. I really enjoy your single bottle reviews. I will also do a lot of single bottle reviews from now on. Aloran, good evening from Western Australia. Good evening, my good man. How's it going? Ifena, can we know the name of the shop in London? Yes, Hedonism. I was in Hedonism when I bought this whiskey. Whiskey Lover Society says, I like international whiskey reviews, made some not always mainstream, but love the journey in finding something different. So do I. I think one of the real reasons I do this is so that I can find, whiskeys that are off the beaten track, little gems that no one has heard of. And I'm very happy to share that knowledge with you. So for example, I don't know if you know about Bimber. This whiskey is 3 years old, 3 years and a day, and it tastes like a 12-year-old whiskey. So mature, coming in at a good strength of 58.7%. And this is an ex-bourbon cask Bimber, and stunning dram. So this was one of my finds for this year. I had not heard. I mean, I had heard of it. I hadn't drunk much from here, from this distillery, and I'm lucky I was able to get a few bottles. Beautiful dram this. Bimber. Try Bimber for your off the beaten path whiskey. Toiletarian, your most spent on a bottle. Yeah, easily the Yamazaki 25. I have it up there. Hopefully you can see it. I hope you can see it. It's stuck there in the middle between those two boxes. That's the Yamazaki 25. You know what? The funny thing is, the most I've ever spent on that, and that's the most expensive bottle I ever bought. The most I spent on it was 450 pounds. That's the most I've spent on a bottle of whiskey. And I'm just lucky that whiskey is now worth 5,000 pounds. It's crazy. So yeah, that's the most I've spent on a whiskey, and it's probably my most expensive bottle of whiskey. Most valuable bottle of whiskey here as well. What's your sorry, Aloran, what is your views on the madness for many bottlings now? Springbank Glenallachie is just impossible to purchase in retail, it seems. Yeah, I think it's crazy. I don't know the real reason, man. I wish I knew. I was doing a list the other day, and I realized that it's so hard to find Campbelltown whiskeys, No Springbanks around, no Glengyles around, no Kilkerrans around. Weird, very weird. I don't like it. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and they reduced production and didn't produce enough, or people just went Crazy. Both are possible, Why why one whiskey is the flavor of the month, and no one really knows why, but it is what it is. Yeah. I'm actually stumped. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish distilleries had enough reserve and resources to be able to produce anything additional if needed. But it is what it is. Yeah, Campbelltown whiskey is very, very, very thin on the ground. Jack, I don't do secondary. Do you mean secondary market? Buying whiskeys from the secondary market? If that's what you mean, it's really, I guess, a personal decision. I don't mind. I used to a lot, to be honest. I used to get on auction sites a lot and buy whiskeys that I've always wanted to try and I couldn't find anywhere. And I have bought from the secondary market, but I've always tried to get a good price. So, um, two US Glen Glenallachie showed up, a 10 Ryewood and a 12 Portwood, both 48%. Yeah, good whiskeys those. I think you should get them. Definitely get them. Ifena, is that William Larue also from Hedonism? No. This is an old William Larue. And if I'd be lying if I say I know what year it is, but I think it's the mid 2010. So I think it's in 2014 or 15 bottling, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, it's an older bottling. It's not the new one. I bought this from retail, online retail. Master Malt, I think. I don't remember. What are your favorite distilleries? Ah, easy. Ardbeg, Laphroaig. Um, I really like Australian whiskies, so I like Larks. I like Sullivan's Cove. I like Overeem. Indian whiskies I like Amrut a lot. Paul John is also doing some good stuff. Um, Taiwan, Kabalan, from King Car, good whiskey as well. Um, what else? From Scotland, my recent favorites probably I like the stuff that's going on with Loch Lomond. They're doing some good stuff, easy. Um, what else? Glen Glenallachie is doing some nice stuff. I like Glen Glenallachie also. Of course, Springbank, without a doubt, one of my favorites. But I think probably my favorite whiskey overall would be Kalila. I'm a huge fan of cask strength Kalilas, and there's something about that spirit which is just it holds. You know what I'm saying? Of all the distilleries, which of these float your boat? Ardnamurka, Glen Lindores, Russia. I don't imagine. Uh, all around, no. As of now, new distilleries. As of now, I don't think they've done enough. I have Lindores with me. I did a review of it. I had a tasting. I don't remember. But as of now, no comments. Until they start coming out with really proper mature spirit that I can taste. Till then, we won't know till then. So I'm a fan of Wolfburn as well. Have you tried French whiskey like Armoric? No, I've not tried French whiskey. I did try a Michel Couvreur the other day, but that Scottish distillate matured in Burgundy, so it's not the same thing. Good whiskey though. Um, Totalitarian, how do you offer whiskey to friends? AB. How do you offer whiskey to friends? AB. I don't know what AB means, but my friends can drink my whiskey any way they like. I let them drink whatever they want. If I know a friend likes to douse his whiskey in Coke or ginger ale, then I'll offer him something from my cheaper collection. But mostly my friends who know me well enough know that they can come here and enjoy anything from my bar. My bar is 100% open to anyone who walks in and wants to have a dram. So they're free to have whatever they want. Efena, your preference between George T. Stagg and Laru Weller. I think Laru Weller is a better whiskey compared to the George T. Stagg, just purely from a taste point of view. And I've had them side by side, and I prefer the William Laru Weller as a bourbon compared to George T. Stagg. But what I like more than both of these is the Thomas Handy Rye, which is my favorite. Good morning, Too Slow from Colorado. How are you, sir? Good to have you here. Thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. Jack, I have a port matured Michel Couvreur, 54%. It is, must be a showstopper, Jack. I'd love to hear your views on it. David, what's your opinion of the Paul John Bold? I think it's a decent whiskey. I don't think it is a phenomenal whiskey. I think it's a decent dram. Nothing wrong with it. I think the three core range, the edited, the brilliance, and the bold are quite nice. They're decent. But I think where Paul John really shines through are their single casks. And that is what I would, that's what I would like, go to. Alaron, it is strange that no one has opened up a new distillery in Campbelltown, seeing such an obvious choice. Yes, I would agree, but I think there's fierce resistance from existing distilleries to prevent new distilleries from opening up there in Campbelltown. Campbelltown, as you know, is so small, and there's already a new distillery that, the owners of Springbank, the Mitchell family, also own Glengyle Distillery, which produces Kilkerran. So I don't know. I don't know if there's room. There is room, but I don't know if they will let another distillery come there. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. As of now, I'm happy. I'm happy to have Springbank and Glengyle service our needs. Toilitarian, your favorite non-whiskey drink? Wine, red wine. Yeah, red wine. I love red wine. I think I drink it more than I drink whiskey, actually, because it's easy. I can sit down. I think it's more a social drink. More of my friends drink it, so I think I prefer red wine. And I'm very happy and very curious to investigate. So there's a lot of different grapes that I try. So yeah, short answer is red wine. Alaron, there were 50 in the past in Campbelltown. Yes, no, you're absolutely correct. I'm not saying that there weren't, and it was a thriving industry back in the day. But Springbank has a bit of a chokehold on Campbelltown at the moment. But again, this is just conjecture on my part. For all I know, nobody's gone down to Campbelltown and tried to set up something. So I'm just spreading false rumors. So please don't quote me on this. I know there was resistance on Isla, on where the new Port Ellen distillery was supposed to open, and the people of Isla protested and said that it's a heritage site. So yeah, Alaron, I own a vineyard and a winery. Wow! So I appreciate your red wine. That is awesome, man. What's the name of your vineyard / winery, and what grapes do you grow there? That is amazing. I'm a huge fan of Australian grapes. The Shiraz from there, the Cab Sauv from there, fantastic. Ifena, is it still possible to buy bourbons like Laru, T. Stagg, and Thomas? It's at online sites without paying secondary prices. No, I think the short answer is no. You can't find these whiskeys anymore unless you have some sort of in with some specialist retailers that Buffalo Trace Distillery, or whoever their distribution company is, they distribute to, and it's very, very, very difficult. James Everett, how are you? Are you based in the UAE? Yes, I am. I am based in the UAE. Around Margaret River. I've heard of Margaret River. Voy, FYI. Around Margaret River. Wow, I think I've heard of Margaret River. I know there's Angus. There's a beef. There's a Margaret River beef steaks. I'm not sure. That name seems to ring a bell. But wow. Well, and when I'm in Australia next, I'm looking you up, and you're taking me for a tour to your winery, and I'm gonna drink all the wine I can drink. Don't worry, I'll bring you a bottle of something special as well. Just opening up the chat here. Those bourbons sell for astronomical prices here at the retailers. Jack the Pickle Hound. Yes, mate, you're absolutely right. They sell for an exorbitant amount of money, and I don't think any whiskey is worth that much, to be honest. I'm just lucky I was able to snag a few. There you go. I was able to snag a few when I could. And I just got lucky. Just got lucky. Simple as that. Wow. Cool. So we've been on air for about 27 minutes. I think I'll do about 4 or 5 minutes more. We have 17 people in the stream right now, and what would be great is if I could get some feedback from you guys on how to improve this channel. What are you looking for? I'd be happy to take your input. Jack, my lucky bottle was a Stag Junior for $50. That's a great deal. I'd be happy with that. Totalitarian. Best value for money you can buy today, but best ratio quality to price. Are you asking me what I think the best value for money whiskey is right now? I did a video called Cost Strike Whiskeys for 50 pounds or less. And I think the best value for money whiskey out there right now is probably the Aaron QC, the Bothy, or the Glenfarclas 105. They're both for 50 pounds or less at a very high strength and a very, very tasty whiskey. So those would be my two. Ifena. So was it easy as at that time that you bought the Laruella? Yeah, it was very easy. If I'd known, I would have bought the entire stock had I known this was going to happen. But yeah, it was very easy. I ordered one of each. That's it. It was simple. Alaran, look at the independent bottlers and provide some information on each of them. I could do that. I did a little video about independent bottlers, and yeah, so my favorite independent bottler is SMWS, without a doubt. Probably the best whiskeys you can find. They're all single cask, all cask strength, so that really, really, presses all my buttons, and I love that. So SMWS for me is fantastic. I'm finding a lot of new independents that are coming out, like Edie. Edie is doing some fantastic stuff. The Whiskey Barrel has some, very good bottles if you look for them on their site. So overall, they do. I think there's a lot of good independent bottlers out there. You just go and experiment and try, and that's the only way you'll know. David, your output is good for me. Just keep on doing what you do. Thank you, sir. That is highly appreciated. Very kind of you. Alaron, I'm at the cost strength only purchase stage. Love my North Star. Good call. I was also at a cost strength only purchase stage in my life where I was like, if it's not cost strength, it's not worth it. And it's kind of true. Given given the levels of ABV you find now, like 40%, and selling at ridiculous prices, it's an injustice, if you ask me. So Our only way to fight back is to buy cask strength whiskeys at good prices. So yes, keep it up, my friend. That's the way to go. Cool. There's nothing more. We've been live for about 30 minutes. This was fun. I'm happy to answer a couple more questions if you guys like. I have a video. Jack the Pickle Malt Act. I feel like we are activists for integrity in craft presentation. Yes, I'm with you on that. Thank you. That's a major compliment. I appreciate that. Alron, any rum or gin? I'm not a big gin drinker. I know I want to get into craft gin, but I'm biding my time before I get to it. I like rum. Again, not very well versed with it. I like Appleton Estate as a rum. I like Ron Zapaka as a drum as well. Zapaka, Zapaka. Those are good rums. I don't mind them. But generally, I feel that rums don't hold up as well as whiskeys do. So, sometimes on the palate, I find them very thin. But I'm getting there, and I guess it's just about exploration and finding better rums out there. How's that, Jack? How's that ABV tax moving along? I have no clue, man. I have no clue. Totalitarian. Why is there a big jump in price between 12 years old and an older expression? Oh man. Uh, Very simple. Perception. That's all there is to it. Perception. People think that a 15-year-old whiskey is better than a 12-year-old and will pay twice the amount of money for it compared to a 12-year-old. And so the sellers, and I won't say the distilleries, but whoever owns the distilleries, whoever's in the sales and marketing of those distilleries, they make those decisions to price them like this. There should be no reason for a 15-year-old whiskey to be twice as expensive as a 12-year-old, or even an 18-year-old whiskey to be twice as expensive as a 12-year-old. It should at best be 50% more. But they're exponentially at a higher price, and that is purely down to perception. I promise you. Even if they give you crap about Angel's Share or whatever it is, don't fall for that stuff. Don't fall for that. It's pure greed, nothing else, and taking advantage of people's perceptions. Good night, man, Alaran. Thank you for stopping by. I'm very happy to hear that you have a winery. Man, that is so cool. I will definitely hit you up if I am ever in Western Australia, and hopefully sample some wine from your vineyard. Notice that you haven't tried any of the Swedish single malts. Anything you're looking to try, I would recommend High Coast if you can get your hands on it. And this is from Thirfer. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Yes, thank you. I have been on the lookout for Swedish single malts. There are not many that I can find or get my hands on. Thank you for High Coast. I will definitely look out for it. Probably in the next month or so, I'm getting my hands on some new shipment. So hopefully we'll do that. Jack, your young cask strength seems to be the market nowadays. Yes, I agree, Jack. A good, young cask strength whiskey is what's happening. Even in independent bottles, I tried this 6-year-old Bunnahabhain, which was there was 9-year-old whiskeys that are doing so well. So yeah, I would have to agree with you. Vinay, but enjoy content on the channel. Appreciate it. No, Vinay, appreciation is all mine. Thank you. Very kind of you to drop in that word. It means a lot. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. Ifena, you have too many unopened bottles for a whiskey review. It's looking almost like a whiskey shop in there. Yes, I am guilty of that. However, what you don't know is I have almost one each open inside. This is my display shelf where I keep the unopened ones. But back inside, in the back room, I've got all of these open. So yeah, I don't show them around. They're just there in the back for me to go back in and have a drink from time to time. So that's what they're there for. Cool. So this was fun. There's quite a few people who came and watched and left. So I really appreciate it. Ifena, you seem very, very enamored by my Buffalo Trace antique collection. Um, Totalitarian suggestion: review every bottle in your collection. Wow, I don't know if there's enough. I don't know if there's enough hours in the day or days in a year for me to do that. But I'll try. I'm doing the best I can. I try and pick what I think is interesting for everyone, not just for me, and try and make a video out of that. So that's the goal. If I review every single whiskey bottle in my collection, wow, you might actually witness me retiring. But yes, that's a great suggestion. That is a great suggestion. So cool. Thank you. I thought I'd do this for about a half an hour or so, but it was lovely talking to you people. I really, really appreciate the encouragement and the love and the support that every single one of you has given me. I feel like this is a big community, and I love seeing familiar names in the comments. And so I know that you guys are coming back and watching the videos, which means I'm doing something right, and that means a lot. So thank you, Jack. This is a shout out to you, Jack. You and I, we chat a lot in the comment section, and it brightens up my day to see your comment on one of my videos. So thank you so much, Totalitarian. Love you, bruv. I love you too, bruv. Very kind of you. Thank you, David. Awesome. Have fun. And thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. So cheers. Thank you, Jack. I like to think I have a sense of humor, because if I don't have a sense of humor, what else do I have? I don't have anything else going up for me. Maybe the stash. And like I said, 2,000 subscribers and this thing goes. How about that? Do you give whiskey scores during your reviews? I really, sometimes I don't, and sometimes I do, but I really think I should. And in the future, I will make sure that I give proper whiskey scores. Without being too pedantic, I won't go into decimals like 6.257. No, I'll give it like a plus or a B plus or a C or a C minus, something that you can kind of relate to. Because otherwise it becomes a very contentious issue, and someone's like, no, well, how can you give it 7 out of 10? It should be a 7.2, and I don't want to get into that. So it's like anything over a B minus or a C plus I think it's a decent whiskey. Let's say that would be my scoring system. Awesome. So thank you for everyone who tuned in for this stream. I'm extremely happy to have been a part of this. Thank you, Totalitarian. I'm liking the mustache, but the wifey and the kids, they wanted to go, and I thought, well, I'll assign a milestone to it, and that milestone is 2,000 subscribers. So the day we hit 2,000 subscribers, we're getting rid of this baby. There you go. So thank you. I'm the Malt Activist. You guys have been absolutely amazing for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. In the next 20 minutes, I'm dropping my latest video, which is my top 5 Christmas gift ideas for a whiskey lover. Check it out. The festive season is upon us. Go buy something for your friends, for your family, or for yourself. Treat yourself. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I'm the Malt Activist. Until next time. Peace.